What is going on, everyone? Happy Friday. We're here doing the Hammer ATTS presented by Betfred Sports with your guy, Ian, and Krabs. How we doing, Ian? You're in the holiday spirit, all dressed up. I love it. I love it.
Yes, I'm back up in Canada. I'm in the holiday spirit. I got my Christmas, my Santa golfing sweater on. I got a Christmas tree behind me. I got my Santa Claus hat on. I'm jolly. I'm feeling jolly today.
Let's go. I'm curious because I've never been to Canada. What would you say is like the biggest difference you guys do for Christmas than us down here in America? Is there any differences or anything cool you guys do? Anything you guys do to show us up?
I think the biggest difference, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I actually think it's the day after Christmas, which is a holiday for us that we call Boxing Day. I don't think that exists.
Wow, we don't have
States,
that.
does it? Yes,
the 26th right back to work.
Is Boxing Day, and it is
okay.
It's a big shopping holiday. It's kind of like the Black Friday of Christmas. Everything's on sale, so
sure.
Everyone loves to go shopping, get the Boxing Day sale. So yeah, Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, a little holiday here in Canada as well.
Does it have anything to do with boxing itself, or is it like gift boxes, or just a random ass name that you guys just have been rolling with?
I've never looked into the origin of Boxing Day. That's a great question. I might try to look this up as the show goes on.
Do you guys have Black Friday too? Do you have Black Friday too up there, or is that kind of like the Black Friday up there? You got two?
No, I think we do. I don't think it's as big though.
Okay. Very cool. Look at this. We're doing some research.
Why is it called Boxing Day? The name comes from a time when the rich used to box up gifts to give to the poor. There you go.
Sure. Yeah. I was getting confused there. I saw Santa with some boxing gloves. I was like, what the hell? What
Santa used to come down and just fight people.
Yeah. Santa, instead of used to eating people's cookies, he used to come down and beat the shit out of people. Who would know? Not me. Awesome. Well, what a start to today. We've only got about 15 minutes. Gosh, and we've been terrible at these ATTSs. So we're going to be going back to the drawing board here, Ian, come the new year. But we're going to give this one more shot with this same game plan here today with these guys. I mean, I'm going with the same game plan. I'm targeting a lot of teams I think who are going to be winning with winning game scripts. A lot of teams with good running backs playing against teams with poor rush defenses, particularly in some of these weather games. So I'm trying to outsmart the books. Let's see how it works this week. It hasn't worked the first couple. But I trust you. I know you've been working hard and losing sleep over this too. So we're going to get this going. All right. We're going to get this a well-oiled machine coming into the new year. All right, Ian. Why don't we start with the mallet tier? You ready to roll with these tier threes?
I am. Yes.
Awesome. I'll get it started. I'll kick it to you. I'm going to keep these short and sweet. We don't need to spend too much time on them because it is our lowest tier. And if you guys haven't joined us on here yet, we do tier 3, which is the mallet tier. We do a couple of these, and then we do tier 2, the sledgehammer, which we like a little bit better. And then we have our best bet, the Thor hammer. All right, tier 1. So let's start with tier 3. Let's start with the mallet. All right. I'm going to pick another Washington touchdown prop that's probably not going to hit because none of them have ever hit. I'm going to get Washington defense and special teams, Ian. Yeah, I am. All right. I'm going to get Washington defense and special teams. It has nothing to do. Hey, don't be the Grinch over there. It has nothing to do with Chase Young coming back. I honestly don't even know if that helps our defense yet. I'm very curious to see what he brings. But our defense has been playing well. There's no doubt about it. We had a bad week last week. Look, I was there in the freezing cold watching it myself. We had a bad week. Our defense is good. No doubt about it. And Brock Purdy's a rookie. And he's been great. He's been outstanding. He's been a little bit too good. And this is the best defense he's faced so far. I think we call some fits. And I think we get in the end zone at plus 800 consensus for ATTS there for the Commanders, defense, and special teams. Also, we've been having Gibson return kicks, and he's been so close to breaking one off. That guy is so fast. If he can just get right through the hole just a little quicker, I think he can find pay dirt on a kick return. All right, Ian? So that's what I got, plus 800 for the commies, defense and special teams. What do you got?
Well, I love how we started the show saying we're 2-10. We went 2-10 last week. We got to get some wins. We got to change some things up here. And then first pick, Washington defense at 8-1.
Hey, value's value. Value's value, brother.
Value is value. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Hey, and if it cashes, and then we hit a couple others, we could be profitable for the entire week. So there you go.
It plays,
All right. I'm gonna start us off. This is I don't really have too much to say about this one, but I'm gonna go Jalen Waddle against the Packers. I think people are kind of underestimating the Dolphins' offense a little bit. 0-3 their last 3 games. I think they come out firing against a Packers defense that really struggled to stop the pass. It did all right last week against Baker Mayfield, but largely their secondary has been a bit of a weak point for them this season. I don't like the Packers. I think the Dolphins actually completely blow them out. I think the Dolphins are a smidge below the elite teams in the NFL. I actually value them higher than I think a lot of other people do. So I think they're going to come out firing at home this week. I believe this is a Christmas Day game as well. So I like Jalen Waddle to score for a little Christmas present right on Christmas Day, plus 140.
Awesome. I'm happy you picked the Christmas one because I think I might have only Saturday plays. A little weird. There's like majority Saturday games, but I guess with Christmas being on Sunday, it makes sense, right?
Yes.
Awesome. I like that prop. Yeah, don't sleep on the Dolphins and don't let them get hot. I think Tua, this in the Pro Bowl, I think he comes out angry. I think he kind of deserved a spot there, and I think he will get in eventually with people sitting out. And the Pro Bowl is kind of bullshit anyways. But, yeah, I'm so with you. I think you buy low with the Dolphins coming off of 3 losses. I think they're electric, and I think Jalen Waddle is absolutely incredible. Love it. All right, if you love my Commanders defense, special teams prop, Ian, you're going to love this one. I'm going to go 49ers defense and special teams.
Oh, my God.
Plus 500. Okay, I bet you weren't expecting that one. Here's my thought process with this. All right, here's my thought process with this, Ian. One of these 2 defenses playing in this game on Saturday. Someone tilt his camera down for him. You got anyone in the room with you? One of these 2 defenses, Ian, hear me out. One of these 2 defenses on Saturday, literally tomorrow, holy shit, they're going to score, and they're going to make one of these below-average quarterbacks in Heineke and Purdy fuck up, right? Purdy, it's been long overdue. He's been too perfect. Heineke, we know he's due for one bad mistake a game. It happens every single game, right? And I've seen it like it was yesterday. Either it's him getting blindside sacked and a fumble and returned for a touchdown like the 49ers have been doing, or maybe a pick 6. I can see it from both sides here. And with Heineke, his security issues, I would not be shocked to see the 49ers, make something happen here at plus 500. That's pretty short for a defense, special teams, anytime touchdown, probably for a reason. So I'm rolling with that. I think one of those 2 will hit, and we'll get some plus chicky there and go out 1-1 with those 2. Thoughts?
So 2 defensive touchdowns. I'm excited to hear what quarterback you're going to bet on to score this week. So I'll stay tuned for that. My next mallet play here, I'm going to go Davante Adams, plus 170 against the Steelers. I don't know. I think plus 170 is pretty good value. And this is a guy who's tied for the lead in the NFL for receiving touchdowns this season. Already has 12 on the year. Now he's taking on a Steelers defense whose secondary has been the weakness of their defense. They're 29th in opponent passing touchdowns per game, giving up 1.8 passing touchdowns per game. They're also 28th in opponent yards per pass attempt at 7.2, so plus 170. I'm actually surprised I didn't rank this on one of the higher tiers, but I love this play quite a bit. I think Davante Adams and Derek Carr are going to have a big game against the Steelers on Saturday. So Davante Adams plus 170. My second.
Okay. Bet. I like it. That is good value. That's juicier than I expected, to be honest with you. I don't know if that scares me or makes me like it more.
Yes,
either way, though, I like the play. All right. I've got a player for you, Ian. Not a defense or special teams. You ready?
Quarterback?
Nope. No QB.
Okay. All right.
I was thinking about doing Hundley, but I'm going to go with his running back who's been kind of unstoppable, J.K. Dobbins, the last 2 weeks. ATTS plus 145. Look, he's been absolutely grubbing. They've been feeding him the last 2 weeks. 125 yards. 120 yards and a touchdown. He's been the guy, and this is what they drafted him to be. They don't want to be using 7 different running backs. They want to have a guy, and I think they finally found him. And I kind of gave up on Dobbins. I think a lot of us did too, but the last couple of weeks, man, he's looked good, and he's getting a brutal Falcons defense, as you know. Sorry, Ian. Bottom 10 defense against the run, giving up 4.3 yards per carry, and they give up 15 touchdowns on the ground. So nothing special there. Stopping the rush. I also don't know if the Falcons want to win. Maybe you can touch on that or not, but I feel like their motivation may be running out, and the Ravens need a win. And with Hundley, how bad he's looked throwing the ball of late, I think the Harbaugh game script is going to be run the living shit out of the football, and it's going to start with Dobbins after how good he's been the last couple of weeks. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Ravens are going to just basically run the ball all game, especially because the weather doesn't look like it's going to be great in this game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took Dobbins as one of my picks last week, and he rushed for 125 yards and caught a ball.
0 touchdown.
Couldn't find the end zone, though, of course. So, I like it. I'm glad one of us is back on Dobbins because he has now had 2 straight 100 to 120-plus yard games. So, I'm glad you're on J.K. Dobbins. I like that one quite a bit.
Let's go. What do you got for your last mallet?
My last mallet is a running back as well. It is Panthers running back here. I'm going to go with Chuba Hubbard, my fellow Canadian. Chuba Hubbard. People forget he's Canadian. 2-1.
No idea.
Oh, yeah. Went to Oklahoma State, but yeah, he's Canadian. I think he's cool. I think he's from British Columbia. Not positive, though. Don't quote me on that. Or Alberta. Don't quote me on that. Lions, 29th in opponent rushing touchdowns per game, giving up 1.4 touchdowns per game. Chuba Hubbard also played 60% of offensive snaps last week, so I think we're going to see some increased usage from him. He has a combined 35 carries over his last 3 games. So for a running back who's getting this much work, and he seems to be getting some work down at the goal line as well, I'm surprised you can get him at 2-1. And just overall, the Lions' defense stinks. The Lions are one of the hottest teams. Zach chimes in, producer Zach says that Alberta. I knew it was somewhere out west. Yeah, shout out Chuba Hubbard. Everyone's been talking about the Lions and how hot they are, and they have been. But their defense still stinks. Their defense is still arguably the worst defense in the NFL. So any offensive player going up against the Lions defense, I feel confident betting on. So I'll take Chuba Hubbard, the pride of Alberta, 2-1.
There we go. All right. Well, I'm going to take the American running back. I'm going to support my guy for the Panthers for my sledgehammer tier 2. Get us started off here. Donta Foreman. How about that? I probably pronounced that wrong. Deonta. I think it's something. He's a beast. I know he has not been in the rock as much the last couple weeks. I noticed that too. I'm taking a different approach. I'm taking a contrarian approach here. I saw him have the shortest odds to score a touchdown for the Panthers. I thought it was weird with how Chuba's been getting the rock the last couple weeks, and it looked like he's kind of been the feature back. Thought it was a little weird that he didn't have the shortest odds. So either the books know something we don't, or they've absolutely got me wrapped around their finger and trapped on this one. But I'm rolling with the guy with the shortest odds to find pay dirt in the backfield for the Panthers. I think the Panthers win this game. I think that's the game script that's slept on here. I think the Panthers win this game and beat the Lions. I'll be honest with you. I like what I've seen out of the Panthers, and they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And they've said it multiple times. It's even come out of Deonta Foreman's mouth. We're not done. And they've been running the ball well. They've been running the ball better without McCaffrey, which is weird. This line looks good. I think they got something to prove with McCaffrey leaving. I think they've stepped up a little bit. And that O-line looks great. And they're going up against a soft defense. So, give me Deonta Foreman, ATTS plus 120. If we don't hit one of these two Panthers running backs, I don't know what the heck to tell you guys. We got to hit one of these, Ian.
As you were talking there, I just wanted to look up the Panthers depth charts since we're both on the 2 starting the number 1 and number 2 running back for the Panthers. I just want to see who's third string. So Raheem Blackshear, if you really want to make some money, bet on Raheem Blackshear to score a touchdown.
The Hokie from VT. So you know what? And that's my alma mater. He probably will score. That'd be hilarious. His first NFL touchdown. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
I've already seen it. I might have to sprinkle on that myself just for my own mental health. Okay. What do you got for Sledgehammer?
All right, first Sledgehammer. I'm going back to the drawing board here, back to the same guy from last week that I bet on. Didn't cash for me last week, but he's still getting a ton of work. That's Chris Moore of the Texans, plus 280. He has a combined 19 targets over his last 2 games. So I still think he's a good bet here at this price, taking on a Titans pass defense that's been terrible lately. 28th in opponent passing touchdowns per game this season, giving up 1.8 per game. And over their last 3 games, the Titans are giving up 8.4 yards per pass attempt, the worst mark in the NFL by a pretty wide margin here. So Chris Moore is still getting a lot of targets. I think Brandon Cooks might be back this week, which is probably why we're getting him at plus 280.
He doesn't even want to be there.
Exactly. So I'll take that value. I'll take Chris Moore plus 280 for my first Sledgehammer.
Okay. I like that play. Don't let Chris Moore get hot. And I don't think you got anything to worry about with Brandon Cooks. That dude wants to pack up shop and get ready for next year. Hopefully another team for him. All right, so I've been talking a lot about targeting running backs this weekend with this terrible weather in winning game scripts against bad rush defenses, right? So you know who has the worst defense in the NFL against the rush, giving up 24 touchdowns on the ground this year? Do you know who it is?
Giants or Chargers?
No, it's actually the Bears.
Oh,
the Bears have been getting torched on the ground, giving up 24. They might not be giving up the most yards per carry like the Chargers or the Giants, but they're giving up 24 touchdowns on the ground this year. Holy smokes. And you know what? With the playoffs right around the corner, the Bills at 11-3, They don't need anybody getting hurt in this game, and it's going to be freaking cold. So I think they're going to be utilizing a running back of theirs who's been extremely impressive, in my opinion, this year. A guy who a lot of people have kind of given up on because he's just not been that electric. It's Devin Singletary, who's had 4 touchdowns in the latter half of the season, but he hasn't scored in the last 2 weeks, so he's a little bit due. And I think they utilize him a lot. Knock on wood, not saying they're going to try to be getting him hurt, but I think if he does get hurt in this freezing cold tundra game, they're okay. I think they will be a little hesitant to have Josh Allen running the ball a ton in this freezing cold weather, because if he gets hurt before the playoffs start up here in about a month, they're caked. So I think they hand the ball off to their impressive, underrated running back here in Devin Singletary at plus 125 to get it done and find pay dirt in a winning game script in a freezing cold game against the worst rush defense in the NFL. All right.
I like it. And I actually should have known the answer to your question because my notes for my next pick, it says right here, staring it right in the face, Bears last in opponent rushing touchdowns per game, 1.7. The reason being is because I'll take James Cook. I'll take the backup to Devin Singletary. So now we got, we didn't plan this. We didn't plan this, but now we have the top 2 running backs for 2 different teams. So I don't know if this is either going to backfire and kill us, or this is going to be a good thing for us. And
I don't think people watching are going to believe that we did not script this. But the funny thing is, I hopped on at noon Eastern time and we did not script this.
Yes.
At all. So the good thing is, I mean, for the love of God, can one of these running backs get in the fucking end zone and make us look good? Because if they don't, I mean, come on now.
Josh Allen, 3 touchdowns.
I don't hate
3 touchdown game incoming.
They could both have touchdowns. Hey, what odds are you getting Cook at?
I got Cook at
plus
320, plus 320.
Yeah, that'll play. I don't know how I knew that. Okay. All right. Well, that's good value. That's the value play. And then our guy Singletary should get it done. Hopefully they both get in the end zone. Maybe they're up big and take care of business. Right?
Perfect. Yep.
Awesome. Does that wrap up your sledgehammer tiers?
Yes.
Cool. Let's move on to the big guy, Thor's hammer. All right. Gosh, I love this pick. And yeah, it's a little juice. I don't really give a hoot. It's hitting. Derrick Henry. Yep. Minus 150. Yeah. ATTS. Hate to do it. It's probably the squarest bet I'll ever give out, but it's going to fucking hit. Tannehill's out. They're going to be running the ball a ton. And Houston's defense against the run, I mean, they're fucking terrible. They're second worst defense against the run with 19 touchdowns given up on the ground, and they're giving up 4.9 yards per carry. They're also tanking, and the effort levels in this game should be night and day. They might give Derrick Henry the ball here 40 times, straight up. And he's going to succeed, and he's going to get in the end zone here at least once. I don't hate his 2-time anytime touchdown, but that's not what we're here to give out. We're here to give out winners, and that's what we're focused on here today. It is minus 150, whatever. If you're going to bet it, I would get this in now because it's only going to get worse, compared to the odds here. But Derrick Henry, the horn, he finds the end zone this week with no Tannehill. They're going to have to limit the passes and feed him the rock against a poor rush defense. All right. I love it. Was that yours?
Funny enough, my Thor's hammer pick is actually their backup running back, Hassan Haskins. No, just joking.
Okay, I was about to say, what the fuck?
No. I'm going to go my Thor's hammer pick, DK Metcalf, plus 135 against the Kansas City Chiefs here. Because Chiefs, this might surprise some people, last in opponent passing touchdowns per game, giving up 2.1 passing touchdowns per game. The red zone defense is absolutely terrible, 31st in red zone defense. And DK Metcalf, he has 6 touchdowns on the season already. But he had more in each of his first 3 seasons. So I think we're going to see a few more touchdowns from him. He had 12 last year. And I think this is actually a pretty good matchup stylistically for the Seahawks offense in general, because Geno Smith completes over 70% of his passes, best mark in the NFL. And the Chiefs are like 23rd or something in opponent completion percentage. So I think that's actually going to be a pretty solid game for the Seahawks passing attack. I love DK Metcalf to find the end zone at plus 135.
Is this the highest total of the week as well? Pretty sure it is, which I love. If it's not, it may be off by a point, maybe off by the hook with the Packers and Miami there, but love it. You're picking a game with a high total. You're picking a team who's probably going to be playing from behind, so they're going to be throwing the ball a lot, right? And against a poor pass defense, just a poor defense in general. Yeah, that's going to smack. And what were the odds for that again?
Plus 135.
Wow. Love it. So we got a little juice play with Derrick Henry, and then we got a little plus chicken play there too. Absolutely love it. All right, Ian, we're coming for blood this weekend, holiday weekend, no excuses. We're hitting these bets. We're hitting these ATTSs. I appreciate you guys watching. Next week, we'll come with every single backup and every single starter for running backs, and we'll give those out again. All jokes aside, I appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. Have a great holiday. All right. This was your episode of Hammer ATTS presented by Betfred Sports. Ian, have a great weekend and a great holiday, my man. I'll catch you.
Have a good one.
Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir.